Today you'd be 70, Dad. I'd make so much fun of you for being old and past your prime, and you'd say you were just beginning. The funny part is, I bet we both would hide that we believed the other one a little bit. I remembered today when I sat down to meditate, the smell of your bright red Celica. You called it a Celica. I remember the funny sporty spoiler and the shutters on the back and the way that they cast light on everything in strips like separations. And those bucket seats, always hot and smelling like seawater. I remember one time, I couldn't have been over 6 years old, and you took me into a parking lot, an empty Aramco business lot, because it was Thursday in Saudi, the weekend, and you told me to drive the car. You said it so straight-faced, I laughed, and I cry now, actually, thinking about it. I was 6, Dad. My daughter is 6, and she can barely make her own waffles. I knew you wanted me to be the son you didn't get. I know, like a small bird knows that something differentiating is about to happen, that moment of intensity, the electricity of wavering soul contracts and fear and past whispers of events that remind you today matters. Today matters. So I said sure with the confidence of a one-legged tightrope walker. You said some mashed up words about a shift gear and realized my eyes glazed over. And right then, you popped me on your lap and you told me to steer. And you told me to tell you when to slow down or speed up. I miss you, Dad. And I can smell the oud and the salt and the sweat on you. And the heavy dust carried through the air conditioner in the car because it was, 101 probably outside. I miss your belief in me. It was unwavering and contagious. So too were your disappointments when I failed, but those were so far and few in between because most of the times you saw my fails and my failures with pride. The kind of pride that knows I've gained some kind of a knowledge that no other way would have delivered with such grace, and you liked me to learn my own lessons. I fucking failed, Dad, in all the ways here that people judge. In marriage, happiness, career, love. I'm sure in some undiscovered way I failed in parenting too, but that seems to be the only thing that I think I'm doing well. I wish I could sit on your lap today. I'd steer because I know the right direction. I'm clear, and I really do have no trouble with abrupt turns and 180s, but it was your foot on the gas that day. It was your foot that did all the opposites of any sane or careful parent. You accelerated when I would turn so that we spun and we fishtailed. You'd hard stop if I went the wrong way and nearly hit a curb, but I wasn't scared. I wasn't alone. Not like I am now. You were there. I can hear your high-pitched voice screaming my name. I could hear your high voice screaming, "Cut the wheel, cut it!" And I instinctively knew that meant rip that fucker all the way to the right or the left, and we would fly, tire burns and smoke behind us. And you'd yell my name, God. How I miss hearing your accent's harmonic curvatures over those syllables. The irony of the recklessness that made me feel so safe with you, Dad. The trust that we both had to have that day, the history that your own mother left this world in the broken and bent metal of a car that you were driving, or that your last step of life at 54 was taken whilst getting out of a car before collapsing on a gurney that day in May. Then there's today. The day we did donuts in an office parking lot at an oil company in Saudi Arabian sun. When I was about 5 to 6, you were celebrating, or maybe you were testing mortality on your birthday. This day, the same number of years that I too have been here. God, the circles and the love, the blood and the aching, hateful, vengeful loss. It's all ripe, but it's all beautiful as ever because it keeps me close to you, and it lets me never, not ever, forget you and your fearless heart. I lack your conservatism in so many other ways, but I have your heart, at least part of it, and I'll hold it open, despite all the reasons not to, because it's partly yours, and you didn't keep yours open. So for us, I will. And the hurt and the loss and the failure, so much failure, I love anyway. I'll love always. And I'll love openly. And I love you. Happy birthday, Dad.
Doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother. If it feels nice, don't